combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And I'm here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. And if you're brand new to the show, head on over to JimmyRants.com and you'll see how it works. We start off on Instagram and I go live usually a couple of times a day. So go follow me on Instagram at Living Low Carb Man on Instagram. And you can engage live just like Joshua and Balanced Nourish Heal and all of my usual suspects that come in. Koala 807 all joining here today live. Then you can watch it for up to 24 hours on replay on Instagram. Then we pop it on over to YouTube. If you type in Jimmy Rants as a keyword on YouTube, you will actually be able to see all of the past episodes. And then finally, we have an all-new Jimmy Rants podcast that I hope you check out. It has the best of the best moments of these here Jimmy Rants, which you can hear on demand on the Jimmy Rants podcast. Again, it's all housed at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is something I want to address for those of you who have decided to make healthier choices in your diet and in your lifestyle and in the way that you live your life. Because you're probably at some point going to run into some people who will think you're absolutely crazy in the way that you live. You probably already have. If you've been living any kind of lifestyle that is outside what is considered societal norms, because everybody eats crappy garbage, everybody uses conventional deodorant, everybody uses air fresheners, everybody does basically the same kinds of things. So when you decide to clean up your diet and not eat junk anymore, eat real quality grass-fed beef, organic vegetables, you replace some of your household cleaning products with essential oil-based products. When you don't use underarm deodorant that has aluminum in it anymore, and now you decide to use ones that are more natural based because you don't want the toxicity that comes from the aluminum in the underarm deodorant, which, oh yeah, by the way, look at your underarm deodorant. If it has aluminum in it, you need to throw it away yesterday. You might be looked at by people as, oh, you're just too healthy. You're just making too healthy a choices for yourself. Nobody needs to go to that extreme. If all the things that you're doing were necessary, why wouldn't we see more people getting sick and dying? Guess what, people? They are. It's not acute. It's not like someone just suddenly dies when they're putting on the underarm deodorant. You know, that's not the way it works. But slowly, they're dying because they're making bad choices for their health. And for those of us that have been enlightened and those of us that have had our eyes opened, we're slowly trying to clean up every little aspect of our life. Christine and I are still working on that. We're trying to find, various household products because the diet's in order. Trying to find household products to continue to clean, but we got rid of all the air fresheners. We got rid of the soaps. We now use goat's milk soap that has some essential oils in it. Just little by little, you make those changes. And you're going to have people who will come your way and say, oh, you're just whacked. That's not necessary. And I want you to be confident in the choices that you're making and that there really is no such thing as living too healthy. Hello. I will give one caveat to this, though, because there are people who do take things a little bit to the extreme. And there's actually a clinical term for this now. It's called orthorexia. So if you're not familiar with that term, orthorexia, definitely go Google it. Go find somebody that's done a YouTube video about it. You'll see it is a real thing. And it is people that they obsess about being so healthy to the nth degree that it actually becomes detrimental. And so I don't think just simply making better choices about your diet and lifestyle issues in and of itself is orthorexia. So don't misunderstand me. It's people that, well, if I don't eat grass-fed and organic and have essential oils, and I breathe air that has touched anything that has had toxins in, that's not a good mindset. So that's what we're talking about with orthorexia. But you have to take it to the just nth degree to get to that point. Most people, if you just get them to make a lateral shift in their diet, away from junk food and more to real whole foods, that is a huge, huge boost in what will help make them healthy. And no, it won't be living too healthy. If you get people to get rid of household cleaners and bleaches and all this stuff and replace it with essential oil-based cleaners and more natural cleaners, that is huge, huge way to make a shift. And no, it's not too healthy. So this notion that you're the weirdo because you're trying to do proactive things in your lifestyle to make yourself healthier, we got to get over this. And if someone challenges you about, oh, you're living too healthy, you need to back off on all the craziness that is all the things that you're changing, I want you to shine a mirror back on them. I want you to tell these people, all right, well, how normal is it that you're eating Doritos and drinking Coca-Cola and eating junk? How normal is that? Did you know the metabolic effects that come from eating that way are going to harm you, if not now, down the road? And I think it becomes this educational piece, because if they bring it up with you, you have full license to bring it right back to them. And what's really interesting about this discussion too is those people that think you're possibly living too healthy, they're the very ones that when they want to get healthy, guess who they come to? I've seen it again and again and again. People that mocked me and my family for my choice to eat a ketogenic diet, they're now asking questions about the ketogenic diet. So it's pretty amazing that in the midst of that, they're actually wanting to know more. And so you have to stand at the ready, stick to your guns, be confident in who and what you are and what you're doing. And when you do that, when the time comes, they'll come to you because they know there is no such thing as living too healthy. Most people aren't living healthy enough. They're making such bad choices in their diet and lifestyle that they're doomed for chronic disease and obesity. And if they simply made some small shifts like what we talked about here today, how much healthier would they be? All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. 7:13 on a Saturday, really? Yes, Joshua. It's 7:13 where you are. It's 8:15 where I am. So you fit them in when you can, man. Ashton, hello, hello. Thanks for being here, everybody. Coconut oil cleans everything from stains and carpets and furniture to toilets and bathtub mold. Yeah, it really does, Joshua. And it's also good to put on wounds. Whenever you cut yourself, you could just rub some coconut oil right onto there and helps as a healing agent. I recommend bar soap with no plastic bottles. Have you tried Dr. Bronner's bar soap? I have not, but again, I use a goat's milk soap. When we were on the low-carb cruise this year, we went to, or it might have been the Keto 101 cruise. Anyway, it was one of the 2 cruises that I run. We went to Puerto Rico, and this guy was selling homemade soaps that he made with essential oils and other such ingredients. And so that's what I cleaned with just this morning, actually. Being convicted as I'm cleaning with a bleach-based product. Mama Ors, this definitely was not to shame anyone who still uses that stuff, but it's more as an encouragement as you've cleaned up your diet. Start looking at things within your lifestyle like those bleach-based product cleaners and see if there's other options that are available to you that might be a little bit better and less toxic on your body, because you got to think about it in this way. When you use those products, those toxins get into your body. Well, your body has to deal with that. And if your detoxification pathways are not opened up and you're not able to get rid of those toxins as they come in, then they get stored. Guess where they get stored? In stored body fat. And that may make it harder for you to lose body fat. So it is all related. It's funny how when I started eating clean and keto, now has me looking for cleaner products. Amy Marm Brewster, that is exactly what happens. And it's a natural progression if you stop and think about it. When I was 410 pounds and I was drinking Coca-Cola and Little Debbie snack cakes and the whole shebang, all the crappy garbage, I didn't care about anything in my lifestyle, much less my diet. Well, when I cleaned up my diet, I started cleaning up the diet a little more, and then a little more, adding in grass-fed beef and organic vegetables and pasture-raised types of foods and free-range chicken, eggs. And then it progressed from there to growing my own vegetables, to having my own backyard chickens. So you constantly are adding on knowledge and information. And then you start looking at the lifestyle stuff like what Christine and I have done, and you slowly just make changes there. So it is interesting how all that does change. Bullock in 2018 says good, better, best in everything. Yes. And at some point, you're going to pursue the best possible that you can fit within your budget and that fits within your lifestyle. And that's a good thing. Mitzi Champion. Hello, Mitzi. She's one of Christine's fellow NTPs. Chlorine in your bleach-based product can adversely affect your thyroid. Yeah. Once it gets in there, it can mess with all the hormonal impacts of the body. And yeah, you just have to be aware of that. And if your detoxification pathways are not open, your body can't deal with it well. And so it traps it in the fat. And then, yeah, that messes with your hormones like the thyroid. I've been feeling this way for a while, just need to do it. Well, Mama Ors, do it. Make today the day that you do it. A lot of times we say, we're going to do something, and then we never do. But if I say, do it right now, you're going to promise me that, right? Have you tried hydrogen peroxide for disinfecting kitchen surfaces and dishes? No toxins. It's a food-grade product. I love hydrogen peroxide, K. Denard 1. Thank you for that. Definitely good on wounds, but yes, as it's kind of stinky, so you have to like cover it up with something a little bit smelling better. But yes, as far as disinfectant, it's really good. I never thought about the deodorant contents. Ashton, neither did I until I got back a toxic screening and it showed I had 10 times the amount of aluminum in my body than is normal. 10 times. And so I'm like, how in the world am I getting aluminum in my body? And somebody had mentioned, oh, your underarm deodorant. So every time you put it on under your underarm, your body is absorbing whatever's in there. And see, guys, this is the key. This whole question of, is it possible to live too healthy? I would have never known, had I not run the toxicity screen on my body, that I was getting exposed to aluminum. And of course, all the ramifications that would have presented itself as I continued to add more and more and more toxicity. So you got to look at what's in your products that you use, and not just the things that you eat, but the things that would be absorbed by your body, which includes underarm deodorant. So when you're done watching this Jimmy Rants, go look at your underarm deodorant. And if you see aluminum in there anywhere, and it's usually in the ones that are deodorant antiperspirants, when they're the dual like that, almost invariably they put some kind of aluminum derivative. Now the cleaner ones, the Tom's brand, there's a bunch of brands, I'm not going to name all of them, but there's ones, and you'll see them right on the front. They say no aluminum, because they know that that's the toxicity that you're getting from your underarm deodorant. I've heard that young people are passing away from purple drink. It is Sprite and cough syrup. Ugh. Oh, gosh. No comment. This is the generation that eats Tide Pods and thinks it's fun. One of the biggest things that women should think of is their makeup. The good old USA allows chemicals that are toxic. Go do your research. Thank you, Amy. Yes, there are some makeups that are allowed in America that have been banned in the UK, that have been banned pretty much everywhere around the world. But for some reason, these same ingredients are allowed in the United States. So certainly. Bullock in 2018, toxic screening, how and where. So any doctor can run a basic test looking for environmental toxins, which would include aluminum and various other heavy metals. So you can get a heavy metal screening done if you go to some place that does what's called chelation therapy. Chelation spelled Chelation. They can actually give you a chelator, have you test your urine, your feces, and your blood. And if they do that, then they can determine your level of toxins that are in your body. Have you noticed many people cook turkey and meats and other foods in aluminum? So many. Yeah, and I'll tell you what else I've had to do, because my body has had some high iron levels. I actually do not cook in cast iron skillet anymore for that reason. Not that it's a bad thing to cook in a cast iron skillet, but if you have elevated levels of iron, and there's a blood test that allows you to do that, then you probably don't need to be consuming food out of a cast iron skillet, because you're going to get iron from that. So yeah, just be aware, you guys, of all these things. And again, we're talking about, is it possible to live too healthy? I don't think people are living healthy enough. And if they made better choices and realized all of these things in their diet and their lifestyle made such a difference in their health, they would make better choices. Deodorant is terrible. Those chemicals are right by your lymph nodes. Is it a wonder why cancer rates are up? Amy, cancer and other things, yeah, it's pretty bad. And once your eyes have been opened, then you make better choices, and that's really all we can do. I love my steam floor cleaner. It disinfects with water, says Nancy, Virginia Beach. Yeah, so anything that uses just water is about as natural a cleaner as you can get, is probably ideal. Hello, Lauren. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. We're talking about whether it's possible to live too healthy in your lifestyle. And a lot of people go to family gatherings and friends, and when they don't see you eating junk, or they see you using essential oils instead of cologne or perfume, they go, what's up with you? You're kind of weird. But I'm trying to encourage people today that these are good choices moving in the right direction, and that it's impossible to live, quote, too healthy. Women need iron generally more than men, correct? Well, women can have a propensity to have lower iron and be iron deficient anemic, but really it could be a problem with either one. I actually had too low of an iron at one time because I was told I had high iron, and I gave blood quite a bit. I was bloodletting about 4 times a year, and my iron got too low. And so, yeah, it's one of those things, you have to balance it out. What test should we request from our doctor, and what level should we specifically test? I'm assuming WDL70, you're referring to the toxin test. Go look it up online. I don't have the name of the test right in front of me, but if you find someone that does chelation therapy, and they can run those tests. So what they'll do is they'll give you a chelator either via oral, which is called EDTA, or they'll give you an injection of a chelator. Then you go home, and they have you pee in a cup. They have you take a fecal sample, and then they also take a blood sample from you once the chelator has been in you. What the chelator does is it releases all of those metals into your blood system so that they can measure how high they are. Okay, so a lot of times they'll test and they didn't chelate you first, and it could be in your bones, it could be in your stored body, and you wouldn't be able to see it. But if you chelate first, then you'll be able to see what those levels are at the proper levels. Then chelation will actually remove a lot of heavy metals out of your body. Definitely go look somebody up. Maybe put in your town in a Google search along with chelation and see what comes up. It could be important information to know where you stand with heavy metals. All right, guys, that is it for this Jimmy Rants. I hope the takeaway here is that you realize that it is not possible to live too healthy, that you make choices, that people will laugh at you, they will scorn you, they will mock you for making the choices that you make in your diet and or your lifestyle choices. But in the end, you're going to outlive them anyway, by the way, because you're going to be making the better choices. And again, don't take it too far that, oh my gosh, I'm going to die if I have to eat a grain-fed cow meat. That's orthorexia. You don't want that, but you want a healthy balance of making healthy choices for your body. All right. JimmyRants.com is the website, you guys, if you want to see all the past episodes. And we start off on Instagram Live. I get to talk with all these awesome people down here a couple times a day on Instagram Live. So go follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Then you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours there. Then we pop it over onto YouTube where you can watch all of the past episodes. And then we also have a fun produced podcast that you can listen on Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. All of this, you guys, all the information is at JimmyRants.com. And if you like the show, go tell people about it. Go share. I've had some really nice people on Instagram lately posting on their stories and on their wall all about how they love the show and they were inspired by something I said in the show. So if that's you, help me out and go share the love. So until next time, you guys, we'll see you then.